Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something that every woman needs to understand. When a man is crazy about you, when he's really into you, it shows up not just in his words, but in his psychology. See, men don't always come out and say how they feel, especially not with poetry and long confessions. No. A man speaks in actions, in behavior, and in the little psychological tricks he may not even realize he's using. Now, let me tell y'all something that most people overlook, but it's one of the biggest giveaways when a man is really feeling you. He starts mirroring you. I ain't talking about copying you like a child would or trying to act like your twin. I'm talking about that deep psychological mirroring. It's when his behavior, his tone, his mood, they all start reflecting you. And half the time, he don't even know he's doing it. That's when you know it's real. See, when a man is emotionally invested, his body language starts taking cues from yours. You smile, he smiles. You cross your arms a minute later, bam, he's doing the same. You tilt your head while talking, watch him closely. It's subtle, but he'll do the same thing. That's because his subconscious mind is trying to connect with you on a deeper level. It's like his spirit is reaching out saying, hey, I like being in sync with this woman. And you know what's even crazier? This ain't no act. He don't even realize he's doing it. That's how you know it's coming from the heart. Men are logical creatures for the most part. But when emotions get involved, when love starts creeping in, logic goes right out the window. That man's heart says, let's get closer, and the body follows suit. His laugh gets louder when you laugh. His voice softens when you speak gently. If you're excited, he's suddenly hyped up with you. That's emotional harmony, baby. Now, let me break it down a little more. Let's say you're out on a date. You're just enjoying yourself, sipping your drink, talking about something that lights you up. You lean in, all engaged. Now watch what he does. If that man leans in too, if he adjusts his posture to match yours, that ain't no coincidence. That's connection. That's him trying to, without words, to stay aligned with you. That man's brain is saying, this feels good, stay close. And don't even get me started on speech. If you use a certain phrase a lot, like that's wild or you feel me, give it a week or two. That man will be saying it too. Just as natural as breathing. Why? Because you're rubbing off on him. You're in his head, you're in his heart. He wants to match your rhythm because it feels right. Even emotionally, it's the same thing. You sad, he goes quiet too. You anxious, he starts pacing. You excited about your big win at work, that man's smiling like he got the promotion. That's emotional mirroring. It's empathy without having to say, I care. That's how you know he's all the way in. Now, some folks might say, Steve, what if he's just faking it? Let me tell you something. Faking takes work. Real mirroring is effortless. It's fluid. It happens in the small, unconscious ways. Eye contact, breathing, pace, tone shifts. That ain't no performance. That's instinct. And only a man who truly feels something deep starts doing it naturally. You could test this theory yourself. Next time you're sitting with him, cross your legs a certain way, pause while talking, or sip your drink slowly. Give it a minute. That man's gonna mirror you like a reflection in a glass window. It's not about what he says, it's about what his body says when his mind ain't thinking about it. That's where the truth lives. And see, ladies, the beauty of this whole thing is you don't need to force a man to show his emotions when you know how to read his actions. His body will start speaking before his mouth does. And that's why I always tell women, stop listening only with your ears. Pay attention with your eyes, your intuition. When a man mirrors your energy, your words, your vibe, that's his heart trying to say, you're safe here. I like who you are. I want to be closer. That right there is the quiet language of love. Let me break this down for y'all, and I want you to listen close. When a man is really into you, he's going to start looking for ways to be your hero. I ain't talking about capes and flying through the air, nah. I'm talking about the everyday kind of hero. The man who steps up for you before you even ask. See, it's in a man's nature. Deep down, we want to feel needed, feel like we can provide, protect, solve. And when we love somebody, when we're crazy about you, that desire gets cranked all the way up. Now, here's the thing most women miss. It's not just that he wants to do big things for you. Sometimes it's in the small stuff, the little moments where he sees an opportunity to be useful and he jumps on it like it's a mission from God. That light bulb went out in your kitchen, boom, he's already halfway up the ladder with the new one. Your car making a weird noise, he's Googling mechanics and asking you what kind of oil you use. You didn't even ask, but there he is. That's not coincidence. That's a man trying to prove he can show up for you. See, when a man is feeling you for real, he wants to impress you, but not with flashy stuff. Nah, he wants to impress you by being the one you can count on. He wants to earn your trust in the most masculine way he knows, by solving a problem, handling your stress, taking weight off your shoulders. He don't need you to call him Superman, but he hopes you notice. Because when a man loves a woman, the greatest compliment she can give him is, I feel safe with you. And I tell you this, sometimes a man will go out of his way to find a problem to solve. You could be sitting there saying, you're fine, and that man will be scanning the situation like a detective. She good. Her phone battery low. That bag look heavy. She sneezed twice. It's funny, but it's real. He's not being overbearing. He's just tuned into you. He wants to contribute to your peace of mind. That's his version of saying, I care. Now listen, I've seen men in love go above and beyond, not for credit, but just to feel that quiet satisfaction of knowing they made your life even 1 inch easier. You mentioned one time that your kitchen faucet leaks, and 2 days later he show up with a wrench and a YouTube video loaded up. You drop your favorite necklace and look a little upset, and suddenly he's crawling around on the floor like a Navy SEAL till he finds it. That's a man who ain't playing around. That's a man who wants to matter to you. And it's not even always about fixing physical things. Sometimes he wants to be your emotional fixer too. You had a bad day at work, that man's calling you, asking what happened, listening close, trying to talk you through it. He don't always have the right words, but he's showing up, trying to lift your spirit. Because when a man's heart is involved, he feels your stress like it's his own. He wants to be your comfort, your go-to, your reset button. So if you ever find yourself wondering, is he really into me? Don't just look at what he says. Watch what he tries to do. Is he trying to solve your little problems? Is he offering help before you even ask? Is he stepping into situations like he's already part of your world? That's him saying, let me be the one who makes life easier for you. Let me be your calm in the storm. He may not put it into words, but trust me, his actions are screaming it loud and clear. Now look, I got to keep it real with y'all. When a man starts falling for a woman, like really feeling her on a deep level, he starts to get a little scared. I know y'all think men are all strong and tough and fearless, but let me tell you something. When emotions get involved, we turn into the most cautious creatures on earth. And one of the biggest things we do, whether we mean to or not, is pull back just a little, not because we don't like you, not because we lose an interest, but because we're trying to see where you stand. It's like this. Imagine a man is walking out onto thin ice. Now, he's feeling real good about you, but he don't know how deep you feel about him. He's wondering, am I out here alone or is she out here with me? So what does he do? He stops, he pulls back. Maybe he texts less for a day or two. Maybe he don't answer that call right away. Maybe he skips that usual good morning text. And right there in that silence, he's waiting, watching, hoping you'll show some kind of sign that you care. It ain't a game. It ain't manipulation. It's insecurity. A man who's really falling for you gets afraid that he's catching feelings too fast. And he starts wondering if you're on the same page. That little pullback, that's him checking the temperature, seeing if you'll reach out. If you'll notice, he's gone a minute, because if you do, it gives him peace. It tells him, okay, she's in this too. Now, don't confuse this with ghosting. This ain't the same as a man who's not serious or playing around. This is the man who's been consistent, who's been showing you attention, respect, and effort. And then suddenly there's a pause. It's not permanent. It's not rejection. It's more like a quiet question. Do I matter to you the way you matter to me? And it's real subtle too, because men ain't always going to come out and ask. We don't always know how to put those feelings into words, but we sure know how to create that little space and see what feels it. Sometimes he's just scared of getting hurt, scared he's reading the signs wrong, scared you're just being nice or polite, not actually interested. So that space he creates, that's a moment of vulnerability. That's him giving you a chance to show him you care without him having to say, I'm scared I'm falling too fast. And I'll tell you this, if you notice this happening with a man, the worst thing you can do is overreact or get mad. What he needs in that moment isn't drama, it's reassurance. Something simple like, hey, haven't heard from you today. Everything good? That right there will tell him he ain't out on the ice alone. That right there will ease his mind like nothing else. Now, if you don't reach out at all, he'll take that as his answer. He'll think, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe she ain't really feeling me like that. And he'll start to pull away for real, not just for a minute. That little test, that subtle pullback is sometimes the only way a man knows how to protect his heart. It may sound strange, but a man pulling back slightly is sometimes the most honest thing he can do. It's not about power. It's not about control. It's about vulnerability, fear, and wanting something real. Because when a man's really into you, he don't want to look foolish. He don't want to chase someone who ain't chasing back. So he steps back, not to run, but to see if you'll step forward. And if you do, well, he's yours. Now listen to me real close, because this right here is one of the most obvious signs that a man is crazy about you, but a lot of women overlook it. When a man starts falling deep, I'm talking about real deal feelings, he doesn't just stick to what he likes. No, ma'am. He starts shifting, adapting, adjusting his life to line up with yours. And it don't even feel like a sacrifice to him. In fact, he does it gladly. That's how you know you've hit his heart. See, men are creatures of habit. We like what we like. We eat the same food, watch the same shows, listen to the same playlists on repeat. But the moment a man starts feeling you, all of a sudden his whole routine starts changing, little by little, until he's doing things he never imagined himself doing. And it all starts with you. You mention that you love sushi, and next thing you know, he's suggesting a spot downtown, even though 3 weeks ago he was saying raw fish ain't food. You tell him you like old school R&B, and somehow his Spotify turns into a Boyz II Men greatest hits concert. You tell him you're trying to eat healthier, and suddenly the man who used to live on burgers is reading labels in the grocery store, asking about almond milk and quinoa like he's a nutritionist. Now, this ain't him faking it. That's the key. He's not pretending to like what you like just to get you to smile. No, this is something that happens naturally when a man's emotionally invested. He wants to share your world. He wants to understand what brings you joy, what calms your spirit, what gets you excited. He's not just adapting to impress you. He's adapting because your happiness is starting to become his happiness too. And it ain't just food or music. A man in love will start looking at your lifestyle and slowly trying to fit himself into it. Your morning person, he starts setting his alarm a little earlier, even if he hates it. You like going for walks in the evening? That man who ain't walked unless it was to the fridge now owns sneakers and asks if you want to hit the park. You into yoga and he starts stretching with you. Even if he looks like a confused pretzel. That's love, baby. It's not about comfort. It's about connection. And it's not just what he does. It's also what he stops doing. That man used to hang with his boys every weekend, but now he's checking with you first to make sure it doesn't mess with your plans. He used to hit the bar after work, but now he rushing home just to call you or spend time with you. That man who used to swear he'd never watch romantic movies is now sitting through 2 hours of tearjerkers just because you said you love him. He starts living in your rhythm. It's a quiet shift, but it's powerful. And it don't mean he's losing himself. It means he's growing into something deeper. When a man starts adjusting to your preferences, it's his way of saying, I want to fit into your life. He ain't doing it because you ask. He's doing it because you matter. So next time you catch him humming your favorite song, eating your favorite dish, watching a show he never cared about till you mentioned it, don't brush it off. That's not small. That's huge. That's love. Showing up in the everyday detail. A man that's crazy about you don't always come with poetry and roses. Sometimes he shows up with a latte made the way you like it, wearing the cologne you said you love, watching the sunrise even though he's half asleep, just because he knows it makes you smile. That's when you know you got a man who ain't just liking you, he's invested. Let me tell y'all something real simple. When a man is truly into you, like got you on his mind every minute kind of into you, he turns into a protector without even trying. I'm talking about that instinct kicking in. He don't just want to be around you, he wants to make sure you're okay. Your peace becomes his priority, your comfort becomes his mission, and it ain't just about somebody trying to mess with you in the dark alley. It goes way deeper than that. A man that's crazy about you gets protective on all levels: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. You ever been out with a man and he watches your reactions more than he watches the room? That's not control, that's care. He's tuned in to how you feeling. If you look uncomfortable in a conversation, even for a second, he's stepping in to redirect it. If he sees somebody looking at you wrong or talking to you with that tone that don't sit right, best believe he's going to stand a little closer. That ain't about jealousy. That's about protection. That's a man saying with